Here's a statistic that will completely change how you think about attraction. 85% of women don't experience genuine arousal until one crucial condition is met. And no, it's not what most men assume. Most guys believe attraction works the same way for women as it does for men. Instant, physical, and obvious. But then they wonder why some nights feel electric, while others fall flat, even with women who seemed interested. The truth? I dug into the research, the psychology, the science of female arousal, and it all clicked. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 stages that lead to genuine female attraction, the stages most men never understand. This isn't locker room talk. This is psychology backed by research that can transform how you connect with women. Let's start with stage 1, emotional safety. Here's the reality most men overlook. Female arousal begins in the mind, not the body. Before any woman can truly feel attracted to you, her brain needs to answer one vital question. Am I safe with this man? And this goes way beyond physical safety. It's about emotional and psychological safety. Her subconscious way of asking, can I trust him enough to be vulnerable? Think about it from an evolutionary standpoint. For thousands of years, poor judgment in choosing a partner had real consequences. Those instincts haven't disappeared. They're hardwired. So what does emotional safety actually look like? It's how you respect her boundaries. It's whether you truly listen or just wait for your turn to talk. It's how you react when she says no, whether it's to something big or something as small as a dinner suggestion. Because in her subconscious, every no is a test. Will he respect it, or will he push, guilt, or get angry? I learned this lesson the hard way. Years ago, I dated a woman I had great chemistry with, deep conversations, laughter, everything clicked. But whenever things moved toward intimacy, she pulled back. Finally, she told me, "You interrupt me constantly. You dismiss my opinions about little things, movies, restaurants. If I can't trust you to respect my thoughts on dinner, how can I feel safe being vulnerable with you?" That hit me. I realized I was trying to build physical intimacy without first laying the foundation of emotional safety. And without that foundation, everything collapses. Here's the truth. Emotional safety isn't built overnight. It's built through consistency. Through actions that prove you respect her autonomy, value her feelings, and won't punish her for honesty or boundaries. That means listening, really listening, not just waiting to respond. Asking for her perspective and actually considering it. Accepting no with grace, whether it's about dinner or intimacy without guilt trips or pressure. Because once emotional safety is in place, the rest of attraction can naturally unfold. 2. Mental stimulation sparks desire. Once emotional safety is in place, the next key ingredient is mental stimulation. And here's something you might not expect. For most women, arousal begins in the brain long before it reaches the body. Research shows a clear difference between men and women. Men often experience arousal as a straightforward physical response. For women, however, it's far more layered, built on psychological and emotional factors working together. Now, mental stimulation doesn't mean you have to be a genius or start debating quantum physics at dinner. What it really means is engaging her mind, making her curious, excited, and emotionally connected. It's about sparking her imagination, making her laugh, and showing genuine interest in how she thinks. I once went on dates with a brilliant woman who worked in marketing. At first, I kept trying to impress her with stories about my own achievements and opinions. The conversations felt flat. She was polite, but distant. Then, one night, I flipped the script. Instead of talking about myself, I asked her about her work, what her toughest project was, how she was approaching it, what excited her about her field. Suddenly, she lit up. Her voice carried passion, her eyes sparked, and she dove deep into her ideas. That's when I realized mental stimulation isn't about proving how smart you are. It's about recognizing and engaging with her intelligence. This can happen in several ways. Intellectual curiosity is huge, asking thoughtful questions, sharing ideas, and diving into topics that excite her. But it's not just about serious conversations. Playful banter, clever humor, even quirky observations about everyday life. All of these keep her mind engaged. Emotional intelligence is just as important. Picking up on her mood, reading between the lines, and responding with empathy shows you can navigate emotions with awareness, and that's incredibly attractive. And then there's mystery and unpredictability. Not manipulative game playing, but genuine surprise, the kind that keeps her discovering new layers of who you are. When her curiosity stays alive, so does the spark. 3. Anticipation builds the tension. Here's where most men get it wrong. They think arousal is about moving as fast as possible toward physical intimacy. But for women, it's often about the journey, not the destination. Anticipation, the slow build, the teasing moments, the tension that lingers, is what makes attraction powerful. Think about your favorite movie. Is the best moment the final scene? Or is it the suspense leading up to it that makes the ending so satisfying? Female arousal works the same way. The anticipation itself is often more thrilling than the actual physical moment. That's why rushing can completely kill the mood. Even if she's interested, skipping the build-up robs her of the very process that fuels her desire. I once dated a woman who taught me something that completely shifted my perspective. She was unapologetically direct about what she wanted. One night, she looked at me and said, "Slow down. You're rushing towards something I'm not ready for yet. And ironically, that makes me less likely to want it. Let me want it first." That single phrase, "let me want it first," changed everything for me. Because real anticipation isn't about taking. It's about creating space for desire to grow. Anticipation builds through subtle mechanisms. It's sitting close enough that your shoulders almost touch, but don't. It's the eye contact that lingers a moment too long. It's the casual touches. Fingers brushing when you hand her something. A hand on her arm mid-conversation. The light touch on her back as you guide her through a doorway. These small moments create what psychologists call arousal tension. That delicious discomfort of wanting something just out of reach. And for many women, this tension isn't optional, it's essential. But anticipation isn't only physical, it's verbal too. It's the art of suggestion without spelling everything out. It's the difference between saying, "You're hot," and "Your smile is so distracting." One states a fact. The other paints an image, sparking curiosity and desire. Time plays a role as well. Not just in a single night, but across interactions. The message that leaves her eager for the next. The dates that build anticipation, because both of you are replaying the last moment in your mind. Desire compounds when you leave her wanting more. And then, there's emotional connection. This is the piece most men overlook. Physical attraction might light the spark, but emotional intimacy fuels the fire. For most women, arousal isn't just physical, it's deeply emotional. The stronger the bond, the stronger the response. That's why sex with someone she feels connected to often feels infinitely more satisfying than any casual encounter, even if the technique is identical. Emotional connection comes through vulnerability, sharing the parts of yourself you usually keep guarded and giving her the space to do the same. That mutual openness creates a bond that amplifies every glance, every touch, every kiss. I remember being in a relationship where I tried too hard to look composed, to only show strength, confidence, and success. She liked me, but something felt flat. The chemistry was there, but it stayed surface level, almost mechanical. It wasn't until I dropped the mask, until I let her see the real me, that the connection deepened, and suddenly, everything between us changed. Everything shifted the night I opened up about something real. A career setback that had shaken my confidence. Instead of viewing it as weakness, she met me with empathy and shared her own fears about her future. That moment built an emotional intimacy that changed the way we connected physically. Emotional connection has a few key elements. First, empathy. The ability to truly understand and be present with her feelings without trying to fix them or brush them aside. When a woman feels fully seen, when she knows you appreciate the depth of who she is, it creates a bond that's far deeper than words. Active listening is just as important. It's not only hearing what she says, but recognizing the emotions underneath. Asking thoughtful follow-up questions. Remembering the little details she shares and bringing them up later. These small actions show that her inner world matters to you. And here's the truth. Only after emotional safety, mental stimulation, anticipation, and connection are in place does physical attraction become the catalyst. At this stage, it's no longer just about appearance or technique. It's about presence, energy, confidence, and chemistry. Her craving for your touch is built on everything you've created together. The mistake many men make is starting with physical attraction, hoping the rest will follow. But for most women, it works the opposite way. Emotional and mental connection fuel physical desire, not the other way around. I learned this from a woman who explained it perfectly. She once said to me, "There are plenty of attractive men out there, but very few who can make me feel safe, understood, excited, and desired all at once. And when a man does all of that, he becomes irresistible. Attraction at this level isn't just physical looks. It's presence. It's awareness. It's being fully comfortable in your own body while attuned to hers. Real chemistry is not a performance by one person. It's a dialogue between two. Touch carries weight only when it rests on trust. A hand on her back feels different when she knows you'll protect her. Eye contact feels electric when there's already emotional intimacy. Even just being close to her becomes charged when anticipation has been built. Here's the key. Every woman is unique. What excites one may not work for another. That's why paying attention, listening, and responding in the moment will always beat following a one-size-fits-all script. Confidence and energy matter too. Not arrogance, not force, but a quiet strength. When a woman feels safe, mentally engaged and connected to you, your presence becomes magnetic. That's when physical attraction transforms into the spark that lights everything else. Most women report their most powerful arousal when all 5 elements are present: emotional safety, mental stimulation, anticipation, emotional connection, physical attraction. And here's where most men go wrong. They try to skip to stage 5, straight to the physical, and then wonder why it doesn't work. Arousal isn't a switch to flip. It's a process that unfolds when the conditions are right. That 85% statistic I mentioned earlier, research shows that most women need multiple emotional and psychological conditions met before genuine arousal happens. This isn't about being complicated. This is simply how female desire works. Understanding this doesn't just make you more attractive, it makes you a better partner, someone who builds real connection rather than just going through the motions. If this shifted your perspective, subscribe and share your thoughts below. Have you noticed these stages in your own relationships? What stood out to you most? Remember, real attraction isn't about tricks or games. It's about understanding, respect, and embracing the beautiful reality of human connection. See you in the next video.